Part 1. The Magic Rock. Long, long ago, before the Tang dynasty, before the great emperors, and before the maps of the world were drawn, there was only chaos. Over millions of years, the chaos settled. The clear, light things floated up to become the sky, heaven. And the heavy, dark things sank down to become the earth. In the middle of the great Eastern Ocean, there stood a magnificent mountain. It was called the Mountain of Flowers and Fruit. This was no ordinary mountain. It was the ancestral artery of the 10 continents, a place where the energy of the world gathered. Its peaks pierced through the clouds like sharp swords, and its cliffs were covered in green moss and purple mist. Phoenixes danced in the trees, and unicorns rested in the meadows. It was a paradise. At the very top of this mountain, perched precariously on the highest peak, sat a rock. It was a strange rock, roughly the height of a grown man. It had holes in it, arranged like the breathing spots of a human body. For centuries, this rock sat there, unmoving. It soaked up the brilliant rays of the sun. It drank the silver glow of the moon. It breathed in the wind and the rain. Inside the rock, something was growing. A magic egg was forming. One day, the timing was finally right. Crack! The sound echoed across the ocean. The rock split open, and a round stone egg rolled out. The wind rushed over it, caressing the stone surface, and suddenly, poof! The egg transformed. It stretched out 4 limbs. It grew a head and a tail. It blinked its eyes. It was a monkey, made entirely of stone, yet fully alive. The stone monkey crawled around. He tested his arms. He tested his legs. Then he stood up on the mountain peak and bowed to the 4 corners of the earth. As he looked up, 2 beams of golden light shot from his eyes, piercing straight through the clouds and reaching all the way to the Jade Palace in heaven. High above, the Jade Emperor, ruler of the heavens, sat on his throne. He was startled by the golden beams shining through his palace floor. "What is that light?" the emperor demanded, looking down. "Go and investigate." The captain of the guards, 1,000-mile eye, looked down through the clouds. He saw the mountain, the broken rock, and the small monkey. "Your Majesty," the captain reported, "it is just a stone monkey born from the earth. He is eating fruit and drinking water. The light is fading now that he has eaten his first meal." The Jade Emperor waved his hand dismissively. "Creatures down below are born all the time. Ignore him." And so, heaven forgot about the monkey. But the monkey did not forget about living. Part 2. The King of the Mountain. The stone monkey was wild and free. He ran through the forests of the flower-fruit mountain, befriending the gibbons, the baboons, and the apes. At night he slept on cliffs. In the day he swung from vines, gathering peaches and plums. He learned to speak the language of the beasts. One scorching summer morning, the monkey troop was playing near a mountain stream to cool off. The water rushed down from the peaks, cold and refreshing. "I wonder where this water comes from?" asked a gibbon. "Let's follow it up," shouted the others. The monkeys scrambled up the rocks, climbing higher and higher until they reached the source. There, a massive waterfall crashed down from a high cliff like a curtain of white silk. The noise was deafening. Roar! Splash! The mist rose up like smoke. An old ape stepped forward and shouted over the noise, "This water is amazing, but who is brave enough to see what is behind it? If anyone can jump through that waterfall, find the source, and come back alive without breaking a bone, we will make him our king." The monkeys looked at each other. The water was fast. The rocks were slippery. It looked like certain death. "I'll do it!" A loud voice rang out from the bushes. The stone monkey leaped forward. He didn't hesitate. He didn't look down. He closed his eyes, crouched low, and with one mighty bound, he launched himself straight into the crashing water. Whoosh! He expected to hit rocks. He expected to drown. But instead, he landed on solid ground. He opened his eyes. The water was like a curtain behind him, blocking out the outside world. In front of him was a shining iron bridge. The stone monkey scampered across the bridge and gasped. It was a home. It wasn't a damp, dark cave. It was a mansion inside the mountain. There were stone tables, stone bowls, and stone beds. Sunlight filtered in through cracks in the ceiling. Bamboo grew in the corners, and rare flowers bloomed near a quiet pool. On a rock wall, words were carved in ancient script. "The Water Curtain Cave of the Flower Fruit Mountain." "A kingdom!" The stone monkey laughed, doing a backflip. "A real kingdom!" He jumped back through the waterfall to the waiting crowd. "It works! It works!" he yelled, dripping wet. There is no water behind the curtain, only a giant iron bridge and a beautiful home. It is big enough for thousands of us. It protects us from the wind and the rain. Come on. The other monkeys were scared at first, but the stone monkey grabbed them and pulled them through. Soon the whole troop was inside. They went wild, fighting over the stone bowls and jumping on The stone beds. After a while, the stone monkey sat on the highest seat and cleared his throat. "Everyone," he shouted, "you promised. You said whoever jumped through the water would be your king. I found this home for you. Why don't you bow?" The monkeys realized he was right. They lined up according to age and bowed down, touching their heads to the floor. "Long live the great king!" they chanted. "Long live the king!" From that day on, the stone monkey dropped the word stone from his name. He became the handsome Monkey King. Part 3. The Fear of the End. For 300 years, life was perfect. The Monkey King led his subjects with joy. They planted flowers, gathered nuts, and drank wine made from fermented fruits. They had no laws, no bosses, and no worries. But one evening, during a grand feast, the Monkey King suddenly stopped eating. He looked at the happy monkeys around him, and a shadow crossed his face. His eyes filled with tears. "Your Majesty, what is wrong?" the monkeys asked, stopping their music. "Why are you sad in this time of joy?" The Monkey King sighed heavily. "We are happy now," he said, his voice trembling. "But I am worried about the future." "What is there to worry about?" asked a general. "We are safe in this cave." "True," said the king. "But we are not free from the one thing that catches everyone: old age, sickness, death. One day my fur will turn gray, my blood will run cold. The king of death, Yamaraja, will drag my soul down to the underworld. All of this joy will end." The entire cave fell silent. The monkeys covered their faces and began to weep. They all knew the king was right. Death was coming for them all. Suddenly, a tall gibbon from the back of the crowd stood up. "Your Majesty," the gibbon said loudly, "if you can think these thoughts, it shows you have a spark of spiritual awakening. But do not despair. There are 3 kinds of beings in this world who escape the King of Death." The Monkey King's eyes lit up. "Who are they?" "The Buddhas, the immortals, and the holy sages," the gibbon explained. "They live as long as the heavens and the earth. They never die. They never age." "Where do they live?" the king demanded, jumping onto his throne. "They live in the human world," the gibbon said, "in ancient caves on distant continents." "Then I will go," the Monkey King declared, wiping his tears. "I will build a raft tomorrow. I will sail across the oceans. I will search the ends of the earth until I find these immortals and learn their secret. I will be free from death forever." Part 4. The Human World. The Next morning, the monkeys worked together to build a raft from dry pine logs. They packed it with fresh peaches and nuts. The Monkey King stood on the fragile raft, holding a long bamboo pole. "Goodbye, my children," he called out. "Wait for me. I will return with the secret of eternal life." He pushed off. The raft drifted away from the flower fruit mountain, a tiny speck entering the vast, terrifying ocean. He was alone. The waves crashed over him. The sun burned his fur. But the Monkey King was determined. He sailed for days, weeks, and months, following the wind. Finally, he spotted land. It was the southern continent of the humans. He beached his raft and climbed ashore. He saw people fishing on the coast. Being a mischievous monkey, he ran up to them, making faces and screeching. The fishermen were terrified. They dropped their nets and ran away. The Monkey King laughed. He caught one straggler, stripped him of his clothes, and put them on himself. It looked ridiculous. A monkey wearing a long robe and a hat that was too big. But he felt very dignified. For the next 8 or 9 years, the Monkey King traveled through the human world. He walked through bustling cities and quiet villages. He learned to speak the human language. He learned to eat cooked rice and wear shoes. But he was disappointed. Humans were obsessed with fame and money. They worked all day to buy things, or they fought wars to gain power. No one cared about immortality. No one knew the secret of escaping death. Fools, the Monkey King thought. They waste their short lives chasing dust, while the real treasure is hidden. He left the southern continent, built another raft, and sailed again, this time crossing the Western Ocean. He landed on the western continent of Cattle Gift, Aparagodania. Here, the mountains were higher and the forests deeper. It felt magical. Part 5. The Secret Path. One day, while hiking up a beautiful mist-covered mountain, the Monkey King heard a sound. Chop, chop, chop. It was the sound of an axe hitting wood. Then a voice began to sing. "I watch the chess games in the woods. My axe handle rots as time goes by. I sell my wood to buy my wine, and laugh as the clouds float high." "An immortal!" the Monkey King gasped. "I found one." He rushed through the bushes and found a simple woodcutter chopping firewood. The Monkey King bowed deeply. "Greetings, old immortal. Please teach me your magic." The woodcutter dropped his axe in surprise. "I am no immortal. I am just a poor man trying to feed my mother." "But your song," the Monkey King insisted. "The words were full of wisdom." "Oh, that," the woodcutter smiled. "An old immortal taught me that song to cheer me up when work is done hard. He lives just up the mountain." The Monkey King grabbed the woodcutter's sleeve. "Where? Tell me where?" "Follow this path south for 7 miles," the woodcutter pointed. "You will find a cave called the Cave of the Slanting Moon and 3 Stars. An immortal named Patriarch Subodhi lives there. He has many disciples." The Monkey King didn't wait to say thank you. He scrambled up the path, his heart pounding in his chest. After 7 miles, he saw it. It was a holy place. The air smelled of incense and pine. Colorful clouds hovered over the entrance. A magnificent gate stood closed, silent and mysterious. A stone tablet outside read, "Mountain of Spirit and Heart, Cave of the Slanting Moon and 3 Stars." The Monkey King didn't dare knock. He was too awestruck. He jumped up into a pine tree and began eating pine cones, waiting for someone to come out. Suddenly, the heavy doors creaked open. A young boy with a face as fair as jade stepped out. He looked up at the tree. "Who is making all that noise?" the boy asked. The Monkey King jumped down and bowed. "I am a seeker of the way. I have come to learn from the master." The boy laughed. "My master just sat down to meditate. He told me, 'There is a seeker outside waiting for me. Go let him in.' That must be you." "That is me! That is me!" the Monkey King cried happily. "Follow me," the boy said. He led the Monkey King through the gates, past deep corridors and beautiful gardens, to a great hall. There, sitting on a dais, surrounded by 30 disciples, sat the Patriarch Subodhi. He looked ancient and ageless, his eyes filled with the secrets of the universe. The Monkey King fell to his knees and banged his head on the floor. "Master, Master, your disciple pays his respects." The Patriarch looked down at the wild monkey. "Where are you from?" he asked sternly. "And what is your name?" "I come from the Flower Fruit Mountain in the east," the Monkey King said. "I crossed 2 oceans to get here. I have no parents. I popped out of a rock." The disciples giggled, but the Patriarch nodded slowly. "A natural product of heaven and earth." "Very well, but you have no name. You look like a macaque. I will give you a surname. The word for monkey, husn, contains the characters for old and moon. I will give you the surname Sun." "Sun! I have a family name!" the Monkey King cheered. "And for your given name," the Patriarch continued, "I will call you Wukong. It means awakened to emptiness." Sun Wukong, the Monkey King repeated the name, tasting it on his tongue. He smiled a smile that stretched from ear to ear. "I like it. I like it," he shouted, doing a cartwheel in the holy hall. "From today on, I am Sun Wukong." And so the stone monkey had found his master, and he had found his name. But his journey, and the trouble he would cause in heaven and earth, was only just beginning.